Okay, hello everybody. Hello, and welcome. How is everyone today? I am Darkside Phil. Welcome to the first of two gameplay streams for today. A brand new week of fun gameplay content for all of you live here on the streams. We start off today, which is Monday, April 9th, 2018, with the conclusion of Far Cry 5, ladies and gents. The conclusion of Far Cry 5. I hope you guys are excited for it. What have we got left in the game? I mean, I've been playing the game for 2 weeks, on and off. Last week I played it almost the entirety of the week. Well, first off, we've got to finish up a little bit of the side content of the game, okay? And yes, WJR, literally, as I was just saying that, said, oh, there's an update for the game. If you're not aware, I did get it. When I booted up my PS4, actually I had auto-downloaded it overnight. So whatever this update patch is for Far Cry 5, I did get it, okay? So what's left? I believe we have like 1 or 2 of the item collection missions left to do. Like there's literally like 2 items I need to pick up. I know I got the lighters, and I know I got the bobblehead. So I think I still need to do the final baseball card, and the final comic book. And then if I feel like doing the whiskey barrels, I'll do them. It seems like busy work, but it's probably pretty easy. It seems like they're all in the same little area of water. So we'll see if I feel like doing that or not. And then if I could find the final shrines and the final wolf's den or whatever, then we've got 1 bunker to do. Well, first of all, we got to rescue Cheeseburger, do the cheeseburger mission, which is probably quick. Then the final bunker, and then the conclusion of the story. So in reality, what's left in the game, maybe 2 hours, if that, of content left, and then we've beaten the game. Then we got Far Cry Arcade, which I don't know if I'm really going to be doing too much of. I just want to see what it is. I mean, it's all over the game. It permeates every single base in the game. It's all over, plastered on the walls, and, you know, all the arcade machines and stuff. So I may check that out. All right, and, you know, we'll go from there. And then when all that is done, when I feel like I've really covered everything, it's time to review the game. So there will be a live review of Far Cry 5 here on the stream today. It should be pretty good. You know, just like I did with Sea of Thieves, it'll be the conclusion of the stream to end today's stream. All right. So there you go. Then tonight, second stream tonight, it's going to be Ni no Kuni 2 continuing, guys. If you guys aren't aware, the ongoing JRPG playthrough I've been doing. We're in Chapter 7 now, and about to start the story. I had done a bunch of open world exploration, side content, recruiting of people, and I said, let's move on, let's get to the story now. So that's what we're going to be focusing on primarily tonight, is advancing the story. So 2 hours of Ni no Kuni 2 later tonight, starting at 6:15 p.m. Pacific time, okay? There you go. Tomorrow, guys, we got a new game. Tomorrow we've got Extinction. A game where it's a combination of World of Warcraft, or I guess I would just say the art style and character design of Warcraft itself, with Attack on Titan. I've seen a couple pre-release opinions on the game because, as I said, a lot of people have played the game already. I could have played the game already. I could play it right now. It's on my PS4 dashboard. But I've decided, as I told you guys, as a philosophy, I don't like it when people get early copies of games and play them early for profit, which is exactly what a lot of people are doing today. They're playing the game on Twitch. They're playing the game on YouTube to get early videos out before anyone else can buy the game to make money. That's not what I'm about, all right? So I'm going to be playing it tomorrow on the day when it comes out for everybody. And we'll see what it is. But anyway, the early opinions seem to be that the game is actually not horrible. It's not great, groundbreaking, amazing, blow you away, but it's also not bad. Seems that some people are saying that, you know, the further you get in, it may be better, but it's unsure yet. You know, how much the game improves and or advances the further in you get. So I guess we'll find out. Tomorrow, firsthand, we're going to be playing the game for the first time and see what it's all about. All right. So yes, Extinction premieres tomorrow on stream. There'll be more Ni no Kuni at night. And then Wednesday, again, Extinction and Ni no Kuni. Thursday's my day off. I know that's crazy early because I just took a day off, but it's the only day this week that both Kat and I could arrange for us to have time together to do stuff. And then Friday, either I'll be continuing with Extinction or doing something different. It all depends on how things go with Extinction Tuesday and Wednesday. You know, if it seems like a game that's not that bad and I want to keep playing, I'll keep playing it. If not, no skin off of anyone's back. We'll go ahead and switch it up to something different, and I'll start that on Friday. And then probably on Saturday, I'll be doing Ultra Street Fighter 2. Since it seems like once a week is a good opportunity for me to play Ultra Street Fighter 2. People seem to like it like that. That'll be Saturday, okay? Just took a sip of my Mountain Dew Kickstart here. All right, so that's kind of the rough schedule. Keep in mind, this is all building up to next week. Next week, we got the big release of God of War, which I think is honestly what everyone is waiting for this month, let's face it. But, you know, we got to get there. We actually have to get to the release of God of War in order to play it. So, we'll all just, do some other fun stuff in the meantime. Okay? Sounds good. All right, guys. So what else is there to talk about? Well, WrestleMania happened last night. I'm sure a ton of people are wondering about my opinions on it. I didn't think it was a horrible show. I didn't think it was a great show. I think it was way too long, as I knew it would be. I literally fast-forwarded through half of it. I'm not even kidding. Like, I was just, every single time a match ended, I just fast-forwarded to the next match, because there was nothing worth watching between the matches, and it turned a 5.5 hour show into like a 2.5 hour show to fast forward through all of it. Some of the matches were great. Some were jokes. In particular, Undertaker Cena was hilariously bad. Like, hilariously bad. The Braun Strowman and the Bar match was hilariously bad. As expected. I think we knew it was going to be hilariously bad. And the main event was hilariously bad. So, it was funny because a lot of the good stuff on this show happened early on in the show. Like, Ronda Rousey, surprisingly enough, was actually really good. Especially for her first pro wrestling match. She did a great job. She tried her ass off. And everyone was like, holy shit, she's actually like... It's not a Brock Lesnar situation where he suplexes 3 times and gasses out, and now he's terrible. She actually was doing lots of good stuff, technical stuff, athletic stuff, and she tried, and the match was actually quite entertaining. I was like, holy crap, I did not expect that at all. But I think the problem with WrestleMania, ultimately, is that it's too long, and by the time that they got to some of the matches that people wanted to see, like AJ Styles Nakamura, it was an amazing technical match that the crowd was dead for because they were all tired. They'd been sitting there for 6-7 hours already. And how do you expect them to get hyped for that match, right? In addition, the final 2 matches of the pay-per-view were by far the worst. It's like, how do you put the worst 2 matches at the end of the show and then expect that people are going to end on a high note? You're not. And so it's funny because overall there were actually some really good stuff on this show. But I think everyone was left with a very negative, bad taste in their mouth and a bad feeling overall about WrestleMania because you ended it on 2 terrible matches. It's like, so what did you think was going to happen? Right? Right? I just don't understand what they were going for with this booking. So that's all really I have to say about it. I'm sure today, tomorrow, people will be asking me specific questions on stream about what I thought about this match, what I thought about that match, what this and that. So, ultimately, when you do interactive streaming, that's going to happen. Okay? That's perfectly okay. But I figured I would just cover it in general right now to start the day rather than not talk about it at all and going cold and then have a bunch of people wondering what my opinions were. All right? So, there you go. Let's see. Okay. The other big news story this morning is that it's official. The math has been crunched. Grand Theft Auto 5 is the biggest money-making game in history. Okay? It's the biggest entertainment entity in history. Grand Theft Auto 5 has made more money than any movie, any music, any television show, any video game. Grand Theft Auto 5 is the most profitable thing ever in the entertainment industry. But why? I mean, ultimately, yeah, initially it sold a ton, because people bought it for the story. But ultimately, it's the microtransactions. I mean, Rockstar has come out and said it's the microtransactions of Grand Theft Auto Online that have made it an insane amount, billions of dollars over the years. Okay? So, that being said, I'm sure people would ask me, what is my opinion on it? It's this simple. For me, I'm really never got the hook of Grand Theft Auto Online. But then again, remember, I played it at launch and when the heists launched, and that was it. Apparently, since then, there have been 500 new updates that were all free, and it added all kinds of content and everything to Grand Theft Auto Online. From what I understand, really what it is, it's a community where it's a lot of interaction, much like all these games now. The reason you're playing it online isn't necessarily because the gameplay is great or the most riveting story ever, but because you get social interactions with your buddies, and because of that, it makes it a fun thing. If anything, Grand Theft Auto Online is kind of like the archetype for that. It was a mode that was added into a game that already had a very robust narrative story mode. That is what most people bought the game for. But this mode evolved over time to become this interactive, social aspect of the game that a lot of people ended up buying the game afterward to get in on, and then subsequently dropping money on microtransactions, making Rockstar a shit ton of money over time. All right. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not necessarily an awful thing, but at the same time, when you ask yourself, gee, I wonder why there were no story-based DLCs for Grand Theft Auto 5, or gee, I wonder why we've never heard any news on Grand Theft Auto 6, undoubtedly it's because they just keep working on Grand Theft Auto Online to make more easy money on these microtransactions, okay? And one thing that we got to say about our games industry as a whole, right? In the past couple years, in particular, we've been complaining quite a lot about microtransactions. Okay? Why is it that every major release that releases seems like it's an unfinished game? It's buggy, it's a mess, it doesn't have all the content it's supposed to have at launch, but then we get nickel and dimed by the game developers for microtransactions. Okay? I hate to say it. And again, I don't want to say shame on you, because I don't think that anyone who participated in Grand Theft Auto Online or spent money on it actually knew what was going to happen. This was kind of the forefront of this burgeoning microtransaction industry. But GTA Online, being the most profitable game ever and the most profitable entertainment entity ever, laid the groundwork for other game developers and publishers to say, oh, this is a money printing, venture. If we just make a game that's bare bones, that doesn't have a great story, that doesn't even have great gameplay, but it just has a hook, kind of repetitive grind aspect, where as long as you're doing it with your friends, it's fun. Let's just make a game like that and then throw in a ridiculous amount of microtransactions to try to nickel and dime everyone and make money. And sadly, that's what's happened. If you look at the games industry over the past 2 to 3 years, how many games now are based only on online aspect games, right? There's no single player, or if there is, it's very crappy. It's better if you experience it co-op with your friends, right? And it's just grinding, repetitive, garbage gameplay. It's really not anything that's robust or adds anything to the gaming as a whole. And really, the only reason people put up with it is because there's a co-op aspect with other people over the internet, right? And then you could sink a ridiculous amount of money into microtransactions. Really, it was GTA Online that created this entity. They started the ball rolling as an experiment. The experiment was incredibly successful. And now everyone else is trying to jump on that bandwagon of how do we make quick money, right? Ultimately, in my opinion, it's not a good thing for the game industry. I think it's terrible, because what we're seeing less and less of are robust, complete games. And instead we're seeing unfinished co-op only online messes that aren't really adding anything to gaming as a whole, and instead they just want money. For me, Grand Theft Auto Online was a non-entity. I played it at launch. It was terrible. It barely worked at launch. I tried to do fun stuff with people in it, like I used to do in Red Dead Redemption, and it didn't even work. I still remember this elaborate setup where we grabbed 2 of the fastest cars in the game. We drove it across an airfield. We drove head-to-head the 2 cars, thinking this is going to be epic. The cars are going to fucking explode. The bodies are going to fly through the windshields ragdoll, and it's going to be amazing. We drove them across the entire airfield, connected perfectly in the middle. Nothing happened. Literally nothing happened. We didn't even take any damage. Like, what? Or, messing with the train. piling 400 cars in front of the train, nothing happens. It's just like, come on. But then, you know, kids, teenagers, loved it because it was just a place where they would hang out and screw around with their friends, really. And that's really what it became. Just kind of a social aspect hangout. And then, of course, over the years, as people have said, heists were added, more DLC expansions and content were added. And the more money you sink into it, the more silly swag you get and the more silly vehicles you get. And then it becomes this online kind of social experience that's completely different from the core aspect of what Grand Theft Auto was to begin with. Okay? So, for me, I kind of shrug. It's seriously just... It's a non-entity. It is. It's like not Grand Theft Auto Online, the biggest, most money-making venture ever for Rockstar and any video game or any entertainment thing ever. All right, and it really, for a gamer like me, didn't even exist, or it didn't even matter that it could have never existed, and it didn't affect me at all. Like, I don't see what I mean. Like, it's so weird. It just seems to be like in the modern era, there's like a aspect of core gamers, people who've been gamers their whole lives. And we look for certain things in games, right? We look for narrative, we look for gameplay, we look for graphics, we look for this, that. You know, kind of like a checklist of what you want in a game that you buy or you're going to sink money into. But then there's a whole other group of gamers, more modern gamers, who have jumped on in, say, the past 10 years, and they don't care about half that shit. All they're looking for is a game to get addicted to and sink time into. And that's it. Like, that's good enough for them. And I look at all the games over the past decade, and I look at games like Destiny, and I look at games like Ghost Recon, Wildlands, or The Division, or, you know, these kind of games where it's just not really anything robust or interesting, not even original. It's just play the game with friends, repetitive, boring grind, sink money into it. And then you look at GTA Online, like, that's pretty much what it was. You know, it's just a social thing. It's fun because you're playing with friends, and there's just chaos and silliness in this open world. There's really nothing to it. It didn't do anything for gaming, yet people sunk the most money ever into it than any other game. You know? Pretty nuts. But if anything, all I have to say, you know, sadly, what's happened is as a result of GTA Online being the best game, or not the best game, excuse me, the most profitable game ever, now we are in the situation we're in. Every single game releases unfinished with microtransactions. And they just expect you to sink that money into the game and make them a fortune because GTA Online did it. GTA Online, when it released, wasn't even done, didn't even work. Remember? Like, the whole first week, you couldn't even get in it. So, I mean, why put effort into designing a game that's groundbreaking or original or different when you could just go, you know, what do they call it? Paint by numbers, right? Just go by the diagram. Oh, grinding gameplay. Nothing original. Oh, but there's a social aspect. Money, 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 money. And that's really what's going on now, you know? And by the way, I'm not pointing fingers, and I'm certainly not saying, oh, if you played GTA Online, shame on you. I'm not doing that at all. It's because I don't think anyone who did that knew what was happening. You know, like I said, GTA Online was kind of the first game like that. And then after GTA Online, everyone else jumped on the bandwagon, but they were the originators, so you can't blame them. They didn't even know when they made GTA Online what was this monster they were releasing, what they were getting into, all right? But now we've got to ask a question, all right? What's going to happen with Red Dead Redemption 2? That's what I'm really nervous about. What's going to happen with Red Dead Redemption 2? Because Red Dead Redemption 1 had a robust story mode, remember? Yes, of course. And then a really fun drop in, drop out online mode where you could opt to either do co-op with people or go versus against people or just do stuff yourself. And it had this really awesome cooperative aspect where you could do silly stunts. Remember Suicide Kings, anybody? I'm sure you do. All right. Now, that was amazing. That was really one of the few games where you could do something silly and fun like that in it. So my question is, will that still be available in Red Dead Redemption 2? Or did they just forego all that now to create a microtransaction model that would print money for them and make them a bajillion dollars, right? Because I'm sorry, GTA Online is far inferior to Red Dead Redemption Online when you're looking for the zaniness aspect or the freedom aspect. They made it so constrained what you could do just for the sake of, oh, let's make some money, that, in my opinion, GTA Online is nowhere near as good as what Red Dead Redemption 1 was. So that's what makes me nervous. And of course, Red Dead Redemption 2, will there be story-based DLCs like Undead Nightmare for the first game, which was one of the best DLCs ever made for a narrative-based game? Or will they just say, oh, screw it, just keep releasing microtransactions for Red Dead Redemption 2 online, right? And that's kind of sad. It's like, I don't know. I'm sure the core game is going to be good. I'm not worried about that. Rockstar typically doesn't screw the pooch when it comes to that. But I'm really nervous their whole focus here is going to be about how to make money online rather than, trying to make things better overall for the common gamer. Let's just think about the people who sink money into our online aspect and cater to them. I don't know. I think a lot of people have been nervous about that. So I guess we'll find out. There's really no way to tell until Red Dead Redemption 2 was released. So, all right. So anyway, guys, just wanted to talk a little bit about that. It was a big news story this morning, and that's my opinion on it, okay? All right. All right, guys. So that's it. Let's quickly do some plugs. We'll do the plug segment, and then I'll do some shout-outs. I see some people have been subbing and cheering this morning. Give you credit for that, and then we'll get started with the conclusion of Far Cry 5. Sound good? Okay. Give me 1 second here. All right, guys. So, thank you for being on stream today. If you are here live, indeed, thank you. Or if you're watching this pre-stream on demand on YouTube, thank you as well. Thanks for all of your ongoing support. Thanks for supporting me for the last year now that I've switched over to be more of an interactive streamer than anything else. I do appreciate that. And, thanks for joining me today. If you enjoy the daily live streams, if you enjoy the daily on-demand videos on YouTube, if you want to see me continue to be able to be a full-time content creator like I am, all right, and be able to bring you the driven, driven, independent, and entertaining gameplay content that I do every day. First of all, thanks for watching, because watching obviously always directly supports. But outside of that, there are many other ways that you can also, contribute or support my efforts to keep doing this as a job. First being Patreon. If you head over to patreon.com/darksidephil, all right, anything that you pledge to my monthly Patreon campaign directly supports the cost of operating the business, including cost of games, cost of electricity, cost of internet, cost of equipment, yada, yada, yada. All right. But the cool thing about pledging to my Patreon is you get something out of it. For every pledge that you give to my Patreon, you earn perks. So, just an example of some of the different perk levels. You can get text or verbal thank yous in my videos. You can contribute in monthly events where you nominate and vote on games, one of which we're going to start talking about shortly. Okay? You can get your questions answered on my bi-monthly show, Ask the King. You can, which by the way is coming up on the 26th of this month. I should mention that. A little over 2 weeks for the next Ask the King. You can get a private Q&A video made. You can get a lot of stuff done, all right, as a thank you in regards to, or in response to your pledges. So check it out, patreon.com/darksidephil. And thanks to anyone who does contribute. I appreciate that. There's also my Teespring shop where you can buy merchandise, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, all kinds of stuff designed and created by viewers and fans. High quality stuff, I can attest, because I own a bunch of it and I've worn it many times on streams before. So I hope you'll give it a look. And anything you buy from my Teespring shop gives me a decent sized commission, which helps me out. So give it a look. Teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. Okay? And then, if you're here live on the stream, guys, all right, and you're enjoying the stream, and you want to get a shout out, maybe you want to ask me a question, maybe you want to just say something in response to something that happened on the stream, or maybe you just want to, give me a well wish. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, you can get a shout out if you either cheer with bits, subscribe to the channel, or tip me. All right? Any of those things, I'll give you a verbal shout out during the stream. Now, some criteria for that. Number one, please keep it concise. Please, no giant paragraphs. I'm not going to derail the stream with a 14-sentence, diatribe or a soliloquy from a Shakespearean play. If you have a giant question to ask me, please save it for Ask the King, the Q&A show coming up in a couple weeks. You can submit large questions like that on my forums on thekingofhate.com. okay? But for the stream, please keep it as concise as possible. Also, number 2, please keep it positive. And what I mean by that, please do not try to incite negativity, try to incite a fight, do not insult, do not say, stupid, do not, you know what I mean? Sometimes we get troll cheers, I ignore them. Sometimes we get people, what do you think about this guy that talks shit about you, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to address that stuff. I'm not. This stream is supposed to be fun gameplay. It's not about starting fights and derailing stuff. So please do not do that. If you do, I'm just going to ignore it, and I'm not going to give you a shout out for it, okay? Okay. Now, if you would like visual recognition for your contributions as well as the verbal shout out, well, then if you cheer 50 bits or more, if you subscribe to the channel, wait a couple minutes, and then you click on the share button that appears when it does, or if you tip me $5 or more, all right? Any of those things, and you will get a visual pop-up animation as well to coincide with your verbal shout-out, all right? So it's pretty cool. These are nice animations designed by longtime viewer, fan, and moderator Popsicolo, and I want to say thank you to him for creating them for us, all right? So thank you for anything that you contribute during today's streams. 2 quick things. We are, driving for subscribers this month. I believe we're only around like 410 subs at this point. So, anything you contribute via subscriptions is very much appreciated. What we're looking to do, is hit 450 subs this month at any point. If we hit 450 subs at any point this month, I'm bringing back the Patron's Choice event, which means that people who pledge to my Patreon this month, $5 or more, will be nominating and voting for games for a full playthrough that will be balanced out during downtime, okay? Previous playthroughs for this event have been games such as Super Mario Sunshine, various Sonic the Hedgehog games, Spyro the Dragon, Persona, Yakuza, the list goes on. It's been a great list of games that I've played and that the patrons have picked. So, if we hit that goal, we will be doing another event. It's certainly not out of reach at all, guys. It's not. It's not out of reach. But we need people to subscribe. It's that simple. When subscriptions expire, you got to resub, or we got to convince new people to subscribe. I find it hilarious because there's people in the stream chat right now who are obvious trolls saying, oh my God, he's only at like 409 or 410 subs, but they're not subbed themselves. So it's obvious, here they are. Here are the naysayers to come in and try to make everyone act like the sky is falling and everything's bad. It's not. It's not at all. It's definitely doable and reachable, that we can make it to the 450 subs this month. In particular, next week when God of War begins, I get the feeling we're going to have some people coming into streams that normally would not be. We're going to have a bigger viewership and bigger kind of, it's going to be like a big game event feeling, which we haven't had in a long time. There really haven't been any games this year so far that I've played that felt like, man, this is one of the biggest AAA releases of the year. Nothing, Really, we haven't had that feeling once. So let's hope, let's definitely hope, that we can hit the 450 this month. I'm pretty sure we can do it. All right. So yeah, thanks to anyone who subscribes, and let's keep pushing for the 450 goal. All right. Number 2, some people ask me, well, Phil, you mentioned tips, but how do I tip? Bits and subs you do through Twitch, but how do I tip you? That's different, right? Yes. There's a method by which you can tip me. Actually, there's 2 methods. The first is to look below my stream. Right now, there's a grid of information, including a grid of information that has lists of the rules publicly, which you should read and understand. They're very important, but also links to like my YouTube page. But also there's a link there that says tips, and it shows a picture of me kind of posing with Pokemon. If you click on that, it takes you to my tips page where you can either leave an anonymous tip or you can leave your name in a message to get a shout out during the stream. Now, if you're on a mobile device, you probably can't see any of the information I just mentioned. In that case, you can just type !tip into the stream chat. Then a link will pop up. Click on that link. Boom, you're on the tips page, and you can do it that way. Okay? All right. So, that's it, guys. Let's now, let's do some shout-outs for those who have cheered and subbed here on the pre-stream. Sound good? Okay. Scroll all the way down here. First of all, a couple people overnight contributed. Thank you very much. We had, it was actually Jack Spartacus twice. Jack Spartacus did a 100-bit cheer. Then he did a 25-bit cheer. Okay? He says, I now have gotten 25 troll whispers in 10 seconds. Beat that. There you go. Yes, folks, I will forewarn you. Sadly, there are people abusing bots here on Twitch. And what they do is they look for people who are like cheering, subbing, or tipping to me. And they will bombard you with bot private messages. It's very simple. Twitch has many ways to fix this. Number one, you can make it so that you can only receive private messages from people you're friends with. That's what I recommend you do. Or if you're like me, you can just disable private messages altogether. Because there's really no reason to have them on Twitch. I never use them. Okay? If you are bombarded with annoying people harassing you, you should report those accounts to Twitch so Twitch will ban them. Or else the bots will just keep doing it. Okay? You also have the ability to ignore certain messages from certain people. There's many ways around it. Just tossing a few ideas out there, guys. Okay? All right. Now, for people who contributed during today's stream, let's see here. First of all, Baby Jim Bob, who used to be the Baby, but then decided to change their name to Baby Jim Bob today, was gifted a sub from Jim Bob. So thank you, Jim Bob, for the gifted sub, and thank you, or congratulations to Baby for becoming a 5-month resub. There you go. King Swaggins did a 50-bit cheer. He says, I was really looking forward to this conclusion. I thought I was going to miss it, but my classes were canceled, so I love it when things line up perfectly. Well, there you go. Sometimes things just work themselves out, right? RomNom99 resubscribed for the 2nd month in a row. Thank you for the 2-month resub, RomNom. Appreciate that. King Swaggins cheered again. He said, yeah, GTA Online is so different today. Rockstar said in 2017 it was actually their biggest year for it, and it's still very fun in my opinion. FAC316 cheered and said, let's see, Rockstar or EA, who to trust? King Swaggins cheered again and said, to be fair, GTA Online has evolved so much. If you haven't played it within the last 2 years, you really can't say much about it. It's night and day from release to now. Yeah, I haven't played it since Heists. When the first Heist released was the last time that I actually played it. And, admittedly, the Heist was kind of interesting for about 3 hours. And then we kind of just got bored because there was grinding required. You couldn't just keep doing it. It was like you have to grind to get a certain amount of money in order to go to the next stage of the heist. And we were like, why is this? Like, you're literally forcing us to go do repetitive, grinding, boring shit to do the next stage of something that you added in as free DLC that's supposed to be fun. Why would you do that? And we really didn't like the model that they used for the heist because it just seemed like they wanted you to waste time in their game rather than just enjoy the free DLC they had created. So, that's the last time that I played it. And I never even finished the first heist. I think I did like the first 3 legs of it. And I never went back and finished it because I was just so underwhelmed at how it had been made, So, yeah, I'm sure there's been 2+ years more content that's been released for it. I haven't seen a lick of it. I haven't because I just don't care, It's like they say, everyone has a chance, or everything has a chance for a great first impression. The first impression of GTA Online was terrible because it didn't even work. Then when it finally worked, it was so constrained in what you could do in it, I hated it. And then when Heists released, the heist portion was good, but having to grind to continue the heist was awful. So it was like negative, 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 negative. Like, what the fuck, right? So that's what pissed me off about it, and I never went back to it. So there you go. Jack Spartacus has resubbed for the 13th month in a row. Thank you for 13 months of support, Jack Spartacus. And he said, toot toot, everybody. Thank you, Jack Spartacus. And then it looks like the final cheer for today is from Level Up Gamer. And he says, if I made you fan art, can I leave a watermark giving me credit on the picture? Yes, Level Up Gamer. If you were to make fan art for me, you definitely can leave a watermark on the picture to give yourself credit. I don't even care. Some people like... who is it? Daniel Zui does the same exact thing. He leaves his name in the corner so he gets some credit for it. However, you need to understand, anything that you submit to my forums for fan art, all right, has a disclaimer on the start of that thread that says anything you post here, you are legally giving me permission to use it on streams and videos, period. Which means at no point ever in the future would you be able to legally try to make a copyright claim or whatever on it. If you post it there, you're permanently giving me permission to use it in streams and videos, and that's it. All right. Only reason I got to be very concise and clear about that is because years ago in 2015, many of you may not know this, so wait till you hear this. In 2015, there were two different people who apparently were haters of mine. I wouldn't have known this because one of them in particular actually attended streams regularly and was very positive on stream, all right? Basically created fan art for me and or intros for my videos and gave me legal permission to use it, all right? Then, after the fact of me using these for 6+ months, submitted dozens of false copyright claims against my videos. Now, YouTube back then had a broken automated piece of shit system for copyright and flagged all of those videos and almost took down DSPGaming, my YouTube channel. It almost got completely shut down because of this. Now, luckily, I contacted YouTube. I said, what are you guys doing? This is insanity. This is completely false nonsense. And, you know, who the hell do you think you are to be just using an automated system and shut down my whole business? So, at that point, YouTube still didn't have a very good system for interaction. It took them about 2 weeks, but they did clear it all up for me. But I was forced to delete, no lie, 2 years of pre-stream videos, and it cost me millions of views and actually took my DSP Gaming channel out of YouTube search rankings for popular game channels. So, it hurt me ridiculously. It actually hurt me to the point where now DSP Gaming is half as profitable as it used to be. Like, no exaggeration. I make half as much money now on DSP Gaming than I used to because of those copyright strikes. It's terrible. It's an awful situation that something so stupid could have happened. It was a directly organized, orchestrated attack against me from people who I didn't know, never done anything negative to them. They just thought, let's fuck with Phil and fuck his life up. And they're nasty people. But keep in mind, that was the same year I got swatted. That was the same year a lot of negative shit happened to me. All right. But understand that if anyone who does submit fan art now, all right, you're giving me legal permission. It's in the thread on the forums. That's why I make people post fan art up on the forums. You're giving me legal permission to use it. You don't have a leg to stand on. By the way, people have tried to false claim artwork, and it doesn't work anymore. YouTube fixed the system. They don't put up with that stupid frivolous shit anymore. Okay? So that's why I use fan art again in my streams and everything. Alright? Alright. So, there you go. So Level Up Gamer just cheered again. He says, makes sense. I understand your point. I would never put you or anyone through that bullshit. Yeah. Listen, man. I mean, and that's it. You know, Bionic just said in the street chat, oh, they just thought you'd get fucked with for a little, not ruin your life. Well, that's the problem. They're idiots. They're immature kids who think that this kind of trolling is funny. They don't realize how much they hurt me. Like, you know, a lot of people today criticize me and they say, Phil, you advertise too much on your pre-streams. Phil, every once in a while you have to ask for help from your stream viewers. Why are you an e-beggar? Why don't you do that? I would have never been in this position if it weren't for the shit that happened to my YouTube channel. If DSP Gaming had never fallen out of Google search rankings, when you go right now, if that 2015 stuff had never happened, okay, if right now you were to go search for Far Cry 5 playthrough, I probably would have been in the top 20 because I had been around for 10 years. You know, this channel, DSP Gaming, started in 2010. It was an 8-year running channel. Of course, back then it was a 5-year running channel. But I always showed up kind of top page when it came to game playthroughs. I had viewers who would come in, all right, and they would come in naturally and organically from YouTube related video search and YouTube video search. So I would get this nice, fresh audience. Every new game would come in to watch me play the games. When that happened in 2015, my channel was removed completely for about 3 months from YouTube search, because when YouTube sees that there's millions of lost views, they assume that your channel did something horrible. That's their algorithms, right? It's, oh, you lost millions of views. You must have had copyright issues or something that are serious. And so I lost all of that. And it was actually that fall of 2015 when normally I would have this big organic influx of viewers for all the new releases, the hardcore gaming season. I saw no increase in the fall. And since then, it's kind of been the same. I have a nice hardcore viewership hardcore fan base of people who come back and watch everything I do. Maybe every once in a while, I randomly will have a video every couple months that hits the YouTube search parameters and gets popular, but very rarely. And it's very hard to find my videos in YouTube search anymore. Like, really, it was the events of 2015 that completely put me in the financial position I'm in right now. Because if I didn't have that giant financial dip, I'd be able to afford everything that I have out here. And I would. When I moved out here, I could afford everything in Washington State. It was these kids who thought they were being funny in 2015 that actually have cost me ridiculous amounts of money and in a lot of ways screwed my life up permanently. Put me in a terrible financial position. But everyone just laughs and thinks it's a joke, right? Oh, it's funny. Yeah, it's real funny. It sucks. But that's the real talk, guys. Real talk, that's what happened. So now we got an idiot spamming the stream chat. Mod took care of it. There you go. All right. I think we're good. Oh, one final thing. If you guys haven't noticed, it's Monday, which means all the stats in the Twitch stream stats have reset. All right. Ooh. Oh my God, excuse me. But yeah, it's they've reset for the week, so now's a good opportunity if you did want to cheer. There's a very high chance you'll get onto that leaderboard because right now it's completely reset, and you know it runs from Monday to Sunday, and then it resets up overnight on Monday. That's how it works. I'm starting to figure out how it works now. So. All right, guys. No Super Bomb Batman, you are wrong. He says, just as a heads up, you show up on the first page for Far Cry 5. That's wrong. I only show up on the first page if you search for Far Cry 5 playthrough. And the reason being, because almost no one names their videos playthrough. People say walkthrough or let's play, or they don't use the word playthrough at all. If you just search for Far Cry 5, I'm nowhere to be found. It's only if you search specifically for the word playthrough that my videos will show up. And that's why no one can find my stuff. Or, if you watch my videos a lot on YouTube, Google artificially changes, I should say automatically, not artificially. They automatically change YouTube search rankings to show more things catered to your viewership. So let's say, for example, you're really into cars. If you watch a ton of car videos, when you search for anything, YouTube will more often put a car-related video into the search results because you watch videos on cars. Same thing with me. If you watch a lot of my videos and you search for something else, chances are it's going to find videos of mine that are related to what you're searching for. But I do not show up on the first page unless you search for playthrough, which is a word, again, no one uses but me. There you go. All right, guys. So I guess that's it. I've completed the shout-outs for today. All right. Just want to say again, thank you guys for being here. Thanks for your contribution so far. Let's hopefully enjoy the conclusion of Far Cry 5. All right. King Swagons just cheered. He said, I actually just used playthrough and you still didn't show up for me. So there you go. There's your perfect example, guys. I don't even show up. All right. That is it, guys. Let us now begin the conclusion of Far Cry 5. You guys excited? I hope you are. I'm excited. And let's do it. Let's see how it ends. Let's see what Arcade's about. And then let's review this mother. All right, cool. Here we go.